Morning, guys. How are you doing today? Good morning. Good morning. You're welcome. If there's any pair you want us to analyze together, please drop it in the comment section. If you have any question, drop it in the comment section. Hope your week has been profitable. Drop your questions in the comments section. If there's any pair you want us to analyze together, drop it in the comment section. Gold is bearish. Okay, gold is bearish. Let's see what we have on the weekly time frame. Okay, so I'm expecting a bullish move on gold. Okay, you can see this candle. We have support here. This is support, and this candle, this is an hammer indicating change in trend. Okay, this is an hammer. As you can see, the next candle, last week candle closed bullish. That indicates that we have more demand than supply. That indicates that we have more bulls than bears. Okay, so I'm waiting for a buy setup on gold. Let's go down to daily. So on daily, you would see a fair value gap was created at this point. So it is likely price will pull back to fill this fair value gap. Okay, so that's the area I'll be considering buying gold. That's my area of interest. If price also, a lot of retail traders would have executed buy after the formation of this candle, right? Because they see this as a breakout from the resistance, and where would they have their stop loss? Their stop loss would be below this candle, right? The low of this candle will be their stop loss. So there's a high probability they will hunt for their stop loss, okay, before pushing price up. So this will be the best area to consider buying gold. We also had a fair value gap here on 4 hour. This is a fair value gap on 4 hour. So it's also possible for price to pull back from this 4 hour fair value gap. It's very possible. So all you need to look out for is a bullish reversal pattern. If a bullish reversal pattern forms in this zone, okay, then you should buy. So these are the areas you should consider. On 4 hour, this is the area you should look out for buy opportunity. Then on daily, this should be the next area you should consider. Okay, so if a bullish reversal pattern forms at this zone, you want to risk buying gold, and it keeps dropping, wait for it to get to this zone. Then if a bullish reversal pattern forms inside this zone, then you can buy gold. I hope that is clear. If you have any question, drop it in the comment section. Let's move to the next play. Australian dollar USD. As you can see, Australian dollar USD is bearish at the moment. I have a trade on Australian dollar USD. Took a buy trade on Australian dollar USD yesterday, and you can see it's currently going against me. I'm a drawdown on this, approaching my SL, as you can see. Okay, cool. So on Australian dollar USD, I expected this bearish move. Okay, I expected this bearish move, and it is likely price will hit this fair value gap on 4 hour. I think that's where price is heading to. Now, I will not advise that you sell Australian dollar USD at the current market price. As you can see, price has already moved. This is where you ought to have entered sell. The breakout from this support, okay, that would have been the best price to sell Australian dollar USD. So you shouldn't jump in and start selling at the moment. This is not a good price to sell. If you want to sell, you need to wait for price to pull back to this level before you sell. So it is likely Australian dollar USD is going to hit this level, this fair value gap on 4 hour. Okay, this gap on 4 hour, this is where Australian dollar USD is heading to. So if you are considering buying, patiently wait for price to hit that level before you execute a buy trade. Are you with me? Patiently wait for price to drop to this discount level. Okay, if you apply Fibonacci tool on the chart from swing high to swing low, so price is currently at discount. Okay, so wait for it to fill this fair value gap before you buy. I hope you get that. I hope you get that. Wait for that fair value gap to be filled before you buy Australian dollar USD. Is that clear? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, drop your comments. Can you hear me? Okay, let's move to the next pair. Okay, Mr. David. Okay. So let's move to the next pair. Euro USD is positively correlated with Australian dollar USD, and you can see Euro USD also has been bearish. At the moment, you can't buy Euro USD at the current market price. Okay, this is not a good price to buy Euro USD. As you can see on 4 hour, there is a fair value gap here. A fair value gap was created after the breakout from this resistance. Can you see that? A fair value gap was created after the breakout from this for buy opportunity around this level. Okay, look out for buy setup around this level. A bullish reversal pattern must form inside this zone, inside this gap, before you buy. Okay, it could be inverted hammer, it could be bullish engulfing pattern, it could be doji, it could be spiraling bottom, or an hammer. Okay, a fair value gap also was created at this point, as you can see. Fair value gap was created. Now this gap has been filled, as you can see. So the probability that price will hit that level is very low. The probability is very low because that gap has been filled. The only gap that has not been filled is this new one that was created after the breakout from this resistance. Okay, so patiently wait for price to hit that level before you consider buying Euro USD. My weekly bias on Euro USD is bullish. That's my weekly bias. So if you're considering buying, please wait for price to hit this level before you buy. I hope that is clear. Good morning, Mr. Adamu. Good morning. If there's any pair you want us to analyze together, drop it in the comment section. Next pair, GBP USD, positively correlated dollar USD, as you can see. GBP USD has been bearish. Another reason Australian dollar USD is bearish is that a major news was released around 1:30 a.m. and it was negative for Australian dollar. So Australian dollar is weak. That's one of the reasons Australian dollar USD is bearish. Okay. As you can see, GBP USD is bearish. You cannot buy GBP USD at the current market price, and selling GBP USD at the current market price is also at a higher risk. Okay, you want to wait for price to pull back before you sell. If you want to sell, you should wait for price to pull back to this broken support, turn resistance. Okay, this is the area you want to consider selling GBP USD. You need to wait for price to pull back into that supply zone or resistance zone before you sell. Selling at the current market price is at a very high risk. Okay, So where is GBP USD heading to? Where is it heading to? Let's go to daily. So GBP USD is likely going to hit this level. Okay. This is the area I will consider buying GBP USD. This zone, this demand zone or support zone, that's where I will consider buying GBP USD. Are you following? Okay, we'll look at GBP JPY in a few minutes. Mr. Adam, in a few minutes. Okay, so that's my take on GBP USD. I will be looking for buy setup around this zone. I hope that is clear. GBP JPY, okay. Okay, so let's look at the pattern we have on GBP JPY. You can see Monday candle closed as a spinning top, and this is a bullish spinning top. So after the close of a bullish spinning top, you're expected to wait for the next candle to close bearish before you sell. And you can see yesterday candle closed bearish, and not just a bearish candle, it closed as an hanging man. Okay, it closed as an hanging man. This is a strong indication that supply is increasing and demand is decreasing. So if you're to take any trade on GBP JPY, it should be sell. Okay, this is a bearish setup on GBP JPY. You would only consider buying if this resistance is broken. Okay, you would only consider buying if this resistance is broken. So where is price heading to? This will be the first target. This what was it called? Resistance turn support. That will be the first target on GBP JPY. The second target will be this old low. So that's my take on GBP JPY. My bias for GBP JPY today is bearish. It is bearish. It is bearish. Only buy above resistance. I hope that is clear. Let's go down to 4 hour. What do we have on 4 hour? Okay, so you can see on 4 hour we've had several candlestick formation indicating changing trend. You see what we have on 4 hour. This is an hanging man. The next candle also closed bearish. Okay, this is a spinning top, strong indication that the trend is about to change from bullish to bearish. Now what you need to wait for is patiently wait for the 4 hour candle to close below. If the current 4 hour candle closes below this the low of this bullish candle, that will be the right time to execute a sell trade on GBP JPY. Okay, now after the breakout from that low, it is likely a fair value gap will be created on 1 hour time frame, 15 minutes time frame, or 5 minutes time frame. So let's go down to 1 hour and see what we have on 1 hour. Okay, so it is likely the current candle will close bearish. If it closes bearish, a fair value gap will be created. Okay, let's go to 15 minutes. Okay, so you can see on 15 minutes, this is a bearish setup on GBP JPY. A fair value gap has been created. Okay, so it is likely price will pull back to fill this fair value gap. Now, if you don't want to wait for this fair value gap to get filled, okay, if you don't want to wait for this fair value gap to get filled, your stop loss, your stop loss should be, let's calculate the risk. If we decide to sell GBP JPY from the current market price, 190.49, and we are setting our stop loss 10 pips above this level, that will be 190.97. So if you execute a sell now, the risk is I think 50 pips. 50 pips. So if you are comfortable taking that high risk, that's 50 pips, you can, this is a good setup on a good sell setup on GBP JPY. Okay, but if you can wait for price to pull back, fill this gap before you sell, your risk will reduce on that trade. Okay, if you wait for price to pull back, your risk on this trade will drop to, let's say, 25-30 pips. Okay, but it's not guaranteed that price will pull back to fill that gap. Okay, so you could go in with maybe small lot size. Let's say you're trading with 0.1, You can go in with 0.05. Price pulls back and fill this gap, you go in with the remaining 0.05. That's the how I trade. That's how I manage risk, okay? Because you're not sure price is going to pull back and fill this gap. Price can just keep dropping from the current market price. So what would you do? You would miss that opportunity if you're not in the market. Okay, so you go in with small lot size. If price pulls back, then you can go in with the remaining lot size. Okay, so this is a good setup on a good self setup on GBP JPY. I hope that is clear, Mr. Adamu. I hope that is clear, Mr. Adamu. Mr. David, are you just joining? I've already analyzed gold. Okay, but I will revisit it. A few minutes. A few minutes. USD card. So you can see USD card has been bullish. USD card is negatively correlated with GBP USD. If GBP USD is bearish, USD card would be bullish. And as you can see on the charts, USD card has been bullish. Currently trading above this resistance. Okay. It's currently trading above this resistance zone. Okay, it's currently at a resistance zone. It's currently at a supply zone. So if a bearish reversal pattern forms in this zone, you want to consider selling USD card. But at the moment, it is bullish. It is bullish, and price is at a key supply zone, a key resistance zone. So if you want to sell, wait for a bearish reversal pattern to form inside that zone before you sell USD card. My bias for USD card this week is bearish. So I'm waiting for a bearish setup before I execute a sell trade on USD card. I hope that is clear. Okay, USD CHF. So USD card is bullish at the moment. If you want to sell, wait for price to pull back, and I don't think it's the right time to buy USD card. This is not a good price to buy USD card. So buying USD card at the current market price is at a very high risk. If you're considering buying, then you should wait for price to pull back, fill this fair value gap that was created here after the breakout of this resistance. Can you see this fair value gap? Wait for price to pull back, because this is where you ought to have entered buy after the formation of this engulfing pattern. This is where you should have entered buy on USD card. If you had entered buy on USD card at this point, by now you should have closed that trade in good profits, right? By now you would have made close to 60 pips, 60 pips. So you cannot be entering buy at the current market price. If you want to buy, wait for price. A fair value gap was created after the breakout from this resistance. Wait for price to pull back to fill this fair value gap before you buy USD card. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Okay. USD CHF. Let's see what we have on USD CHF. Okay, for some time now, USD CHF has been in a range, as you can see. It has been in a range, but we had an engulfing pattern. You can see we had an engulfing pattern here. So, as you can see, and we had a fair value gap. A fair value gap was created here, as you can see, and price has tested that level several times. So this zone is acting as a support, as you can see. Price has tested this support several times. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. So let's go down to 1 hour. Let's see what's happening on 1 hour time frame. You would also notice that USD CHF is currently at a resistance level. You can see price just hit a resistance level. So we could see price pull back from that zone. You can see it's just hit a resistance level, or you call it your supply zone. So there is a high probability that would experience a pullback. Price will pull back from that level. Okay, so what we need to wait for is the candlestick. We need to wait for 1 hour candle to close before we decide to sell. Okay, let's go to 1 hour. So you can see the pattern we have on 1 hour. This is a bearish reversal pattern, so it's likely USD CHF is going to sell. It's going to drop the next few minutes. Okay, but we need to wait for this 1 hour candle to close. You can see the candlestick pattern that formed here. This is a shooting star candle, a bullish shooting star. Now, after the formation of a bullish shooting star, you have to wait for the next candle to close bearish before you execute a sell trade. And you can see the next candle that closed as a spinning top. So we can't jump in and start selling. But if the current 1 hour candle closes bearish, then we could go in and sell USD CHF. If it closes bearish, then you could consider selling USD CHF, and you could see that a fair value gap was created here. A fair value gap was created. This 1 hour time frame. We have a very small fair value gap here. Okay, very small fair value gap here. Okay, so it is likely price will pull back to fill this gap. Okay, so if your buyers on USD CHF is bullish, you might want to wait for price to pull back to this zone before you buy. Buying at the current market price is at a very high risk, right? You should have entered buy after the close of this bullish candle. Immediately this candlestick closed above this resistance. That would have been the best time to buy USD CHF, and the market is currently trading that's about 30 pips above that level. 30 pips above that level. So patiently wait for price to pull back. Don't jump in due to FOMO, fear of missing out. Patiently wait price to pull back. Okay? Is that clear, Mr. Adamu? Is that clear, Mr. Adamu? That's my take on USD CHF. Please ensure that the current candlestick closes bearish before you sell. If you're considering selling, wait for the next candle to close, the current candlestick to close bearish. As you can see, it is still bullish. You have to wait for the candle to close. Okay? Let's move to the next pair, New Zealand USD. You see, New Zealand USD is bearish. Can you see that? Let's start with the weekly time frame. Okay. So New Zealand USD is bearish at the moment. It's bearish at the moment. But taking a sell now at the current market price is at a very high risk. You should have entered sell after, let's go to daily. I think after the close of yesterday candle. Okay, you can see you should have entered sell on Tuesday, Monday. Yeah, Monday. After the close of Monday candle, that would have been the best time to sell. After the formation of this spinning top, you can see we had a spinning top here, shooting star. The next candlestick still closed bearish, so this would have been the right price to sell New Zealand USD. Best price. Okay, so this is where you also have entered sell on New Zealand USD. Okay, so if you haven't executed a sell trade on New Zealand USD, you should wait for price to pull back before you sell. Wait for price to pull back before you sell, because if you take a sell at the current market price, your risk will be as high as 90 pips. The risk will be as high as 90 pips, and for me that is too high. The risk is too high. You want your risk to reduce to 30-40 pips. Okay, so wait for price to pull back. Don't jump in and start selling New Zealand USD. Very risky at the moment. Okay, we might see a pullback anytime soon. Okay, we might see a pullback anytime soon. So let's go to, after the formation of this candle, I believe a fair value gap was created on, let's go to 4 hour. So you can see on 4 hour we had a fair value gap here, so it's likely price will hit this fair value gap. can see this gap here on 4 hour. So it is likely price will hit this fair value gap, will fill this gap before NZD USD go bullish. Okay, so that's my take on New Zealand USD. It is bearish at the moment, but it could pull back anytime soon. It could pull back anytime soon. So if you are considering buying, patiently wait for price to hit this zone, demand zone, before you execute a buy trade. I hope that is clear. Is there any other pair you want us to look at? Is there any other pair? Okay, USD that will be the last pair for this session. If you have any other pair you want us to analyze together, drop it in the comment section. USD should be bearish. Okay, it's currently at a resistance level, so wait for the candle. You can see it's currently at a supply zone or resistance zone. Okay, so we need to wait for today's candle or 4-hour candle to close. If a bearish pattern forms at that zone, we could consider selling USD JPY. If a bearish pattern forms at that zone, then you can go in and sell. Okay, it's been bullish since yesterday. USD JPY has been bullish, and this isn't the right time to buy USD JPY. Should have entered buy after the close of this armor. That would have been the best price to buy USD JPY. So if you've not executed any buy trade on USD JPY, please wait for price to pull back before you consider buying. Okay, USD JPY is likely going to pull back anytime soon, so buying it at the current market price is at a very high risk. Let's go to 1 hour. Okay, so you can see if 1 hour candle closes as an hanging man or a spinning top, you want to risk selling USD JPY. If the candle closes as an hanging man or a spinning top or doji, you want to consider selling USD JPY. I hope that is clear. Okay, let's go back to gold. Gold. Okay, so I said, as you can see, gold is bearish at the moment. It is bearish at the moment. Now, if a bullish reversal pattern forms inside this gap, inside this demand zone, or you call it your support zone, you want to consider buying gold. Okay, you want to consider buying gold if a bullish reversal pattern forms inside this gap. Okay, it's bearish at the moment, and selling at the current market price is at a very high risk. Okay, the best time to have executed sell on gold be after the breakout from this support. That was around 4 a.m. Nigerian time. 4 a.m. Nigerian time. That would have been the best time to execute a sell trade on gold. Okay, and price has already moved. I think it has delivered over 140. Okay, over 50 pips. Okay, it has delivered over 50 pips. So to not be reasonable to sell at the current market price, please wait for price to pull back. If you insist on selling, gold today, wait for price to pull back, okay, before you consider selling. I believe after the breakout of this support, I believe a fair value gap was created on, let's go to 15 minutes. So you wait for that gap to be filled. As you can see on 15 minutes, this was the fair value gap that was created. Okay, you can see the fair value gap that was created. So it's likely price will pull back and fill this gap before gold will go bearish. So if you still insist on selling, wait for price to pull back to that zone before you sell. Okay, so that's my take on gold. My bias for this week on gold is bullish. So I'm waiting for a bullish setup, a bullish reversal pattern to form on gold before I would buy. Okay, the bears are in control now. The bears are in control. Mr. Isaac, good morning. Do you have any other question? Any question? Any question? Or you have any pair you want us to analyze together? Drop it in the comments section. I just analyzed gold. Okay. Mr. David, Mr. Adamu, Mr. Eze, do you have any question? Please ensure you apply proper risk and money management. Always use stop loss on all your trades. Before you execute the trade, ensure you know the risk involved. Okay, know the dollar amount you're going to lose if the trade goes against you. It's very important. Very important. Ensure that you know the risk. Okay. USD South African Rand, Mr. David. Yes, South African Rand. Let me see if I have that on my list. USD South African Rand. Okay, hold on. Please, when trading exotic pairs, ensure that you check the spread before you execute the trade. Ensure you check the spread before you execute the trade. If you're trading exotic pairs, sometimes the spread USD is bullish at the moment, you can see. Let's go to the weekly. Okay, it's bullish, but you also need to consider this resistance. You can see the price is currently at a resistance level. Now, going by what we have on the daily time frame, I think this is a bearish setup on daily time frame. You can see we had a shooting star, doji, and an engulfing candle. Can you see that? So this is a bearish reversal pattern on the daily time frame. So I believe after the formation of this engulfing, created on 4-hour or 1-hour time frame, and prices. So you can see that after the formation of that engulfing pattern, you can see that a fair value gap was created. So it is likely price just want to fill this gap before going bearish. Can you see that? Price is currently inside that gap. Can you see that? So what you need to wait for is the close of a bearish reversal pattern inside this gap. If a bearish reversal pattern closes or forms in 1-hour time frame or 15 minutes time frame, then you should consider selling. I would not advise that you buy USD at the current market price. Okay, this would have been the best price to buy USD ZAR. Okay, this would have been the best price. After the formation of this spinning bottom, the next candle closed bullish. This would have been the best price. Okay, this would have been the best price to buy. So if you decide to buy USD ZAR at the current market price, it will be at a very high risk. Unless you are comfortable with that risk, then you can go in and buy. But you should also know that price is at a resistance level, and when price is at a resistance level, there's a high probability for price to pull back from that level, because there are a lot of stop losses at that level. A lot of people want to sell at that level. So if you are jumping into buy, you should also know that price is at a resistance level, which is not a good price to buy. You don't buy at resistance level, you sell at resistance level, you buy at support level. I hope that is clear. So that will be all for today's session. If there are no questions, I appreciate you all for your participation. Our next session will be tomorrow by 10 a.m. Okay. If this is your first time participating in this session, please subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come on live, you get notification from Facebook. You subscribe, and if you're not on the WhatsApp group, please send me a message on WhatsApp so that I can add you to the WhatsApp group. Okay, my number is 080-378-36189. 080-378-36189. You need to be in the WhatsApp group. It's very important. Okay. More explanation on fair value gap. Fair value gap is not fair value gap. It is fair, F-A-I-R, not P-A-I-R. Okay, Mr. Adamu, it is fair value gap. Okay, we'll be having a session on Zoom tomorrow. So, Mr. Adamu, ensure that you join the class tomorrow by 8 p.m. I will attend to your question during the Zoom session tomorrow. Okay? All right, thank you. Wish you all a profitable day.